Hi, Namaste. This is Surabhi, your master teacher of chemistry at Vedanta. Welcome to Sprint Alchemy. So this is our 8th session. So in today's session, we'll be discussing some important questions on the following topics from the chapter Metallurgy. Metallurgy, minerals and ores, extraction of aluminium, Hall and Heroult process. Ready? And this is the entire timetable or schedule of a Sprint Alchemy. So we are already done with periodic properties, chemical bonding, study of acids, bases and salts, analytical chemistry, mole concept and stoichiometry, electrolysis. So today we will be completing metallurgy. Yes. And if you are new here, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share this video with your friends and click on the bell icon so that you will be notified whenever we are live or premiering the videos. Thank you. So here is our first question. Aluminium is highly electropositive metal. Yes. In spite of it, aluminium does not oxidize rapidly in air. Why? So we have iron and aluminium, right? Which is more reactive? Yeah. But why iron undergoes rusting, right? It will form ferric oxide, whereas aluminium being more electropositive, it does not oxidize rapidly in air. That's the question, because it forms a very thin layer of aluminium oxide, right? Yes, it is reactive, I agree. It will react with oxygen and forms a thin layer of aluminium oxide which acts as a protective layer. So obviously, so as there is this, the topmost layer is aluminium oxide and the metal is present beneath it, so it won't be affected because there won't be any direct contact with oxygen. Question number 2. Zinc displaces lead from lead nitrate. Yes, while gold is unable to do so, because this is dependent on the reactivities of those metals. If you try to remember the reactivity series, where is lead and where gold is placed? So obviously gold is below lead. It's placed below lead, so it won't be able to displace or replace lead from lead nitrate solution. We know displacement reaction, more reactive element displaces the less reactive one from its solution. Here gold is less reactive than lead, so obviously it is not possible, whereas zinc is very reactive compared to lead, so it can aram se displace lead from lead nitrate solution. So zinc is above lead in the metal activity series or the reactivity series. It is more reactive than the lead, while gold, a noble metal, it is at the bottom of the reactivity series, right? It is less reactive or highly unreactive, hence it cannot displace lead from its nitrate. So PbNO3 twice plus Au, there won't be any reaction, but PbNO3 twice plus zinc, you will get zinc nitrate and lead. Question number 3. Why extraction of aluminium is difficult? So first is because of its high melting point. The amount of energy needed to maintain that temperature, 2050 degrees Celsius, and what happens in its molten state, it is not a very good conductor. The fused alumina does not conduct electricity well, that is Al2O3. That is also a problem, and when you succeed to achieve that temperature and when you are maintaining it, a good amount of aluminium vaporizes at this temperature. So that is the problem. Extracting aluminium is difficult. So this question is kind of related to the previous one. During the extraction of aluminium, cryolite and fluorspar are added to alumina. Why? So I just told you, third question the melting point is very high, right? So here obviously aluminium oxide, that is alumina Al2O3, so it will, addition of cryolite and fluorspar helps us to reduce or lower the melting point of aluminium to make alumina a good conductor, and cryolite, it acts as a solvent for alumina. So for these reasons we add cryolite and fluorspar along with alumina when we are trying to extract it. See here, so why extraction of aluminium is difficult? Because pure aluminium oxide melts at 2050 degrees Celsius and a large amount of energy is needed to maintain. So obviously it has to melt right? Then only it can conduct electricity, and then only the decomposition is possible. So what we do is, instead of taking pure aluminum oxide, that is alumina, as the electrolyte, we add cryolite and fluorospar along with it, which brings down the melting point, which acts as a solvent and to increase or enhance the conductivity of alumina. So that is the reason we are adding cryolite, fluorospar along with alumina. Those two questions are related. Next is question number 5. Define the following terms: mineral, ore, gangue, metallurgy. So mineral is naturally occurring compounds. They are called as minerals. Naturally occurring elements or compounds, they are called minerals. And ore is a mineral from which a metal can be extracted conveniently or economically. A natural occurring mineral from which a metal can be extracted conveniently or economically or profitably, that is what is called an ore. Next is gangue. So gangue is the impurities which are associated with the ore, like silica, sand, mud, all those things, okay, clay. Metallurgy is the process of extracting a metal from its ore conveniently, profitably. They are called as metallurgy because there are lots of steps involved in this process, right? From converting, first is concentration of ore, and then converting the ore into metal, refining it. So all these steps are included in this metallurgy. It is a process involved in the extraction of pure metals from their ore, are collectively called as metallurgy. Want to join us, gain 100% knowledge and score 100% marks? How? So join or take the pro subscription, where you will get to attend unlimited live classes with fun and high level quizzes. Yes, quizzes, lots of them. And even if you couldn't attend the session, you can go back and watch the replay and be on leaderboard. Yes, even though you couldn't attend the live session, when you're watching it, it's basically the replays are interactive. It's not monotonous or boring. Compete with the students throughout the world. Sounds exciting, right? So in class, doubt solving will be there, where there will be class teachers, master teacher, who make sure that all of your doubts are getting instantly solved. So after the session, assignments will be shared with you, notes, handwritten notes of the master teachers. You can actually download it, which will help you to know how to approach a question, how to answer, and what to write, what not to write. Along with that, you will be getting some free micro courses, crash courses, which is very, very important to practice or to prepare for the competitive exams or even for the board exams. Less is more. How? Because there is this amazing offer going on, 50% off up to 1,500 rupees, and it's a limited period offer. So we are with you till the end. We'll be always with you. So make sure to check the link in the description and in the pinned comment. If you like it, make sure to use the coupon code SURPRO so that you can get additional discount. Yes, understand? Good. So question number 6. Give the common name, chemical formula and chemical name of ores of aluminium, zinc and iron. So what are the ores which we have come across when you were studying metallurgy or any other chapters? Alumina, okay, so sodium aluminium fluoride, that is cryolite. Bauxite is an ore, very, very important ore of aluminium, that is Al2O3.2H2O, hydrated aluminium, because it has water of crystallization. Next is cryolite, that is Na3Al, sodium aluminium fluoride. So zinc is zinc blende and zincite. So zinc oxide, zinc sulfate. Next iron, hematite, magnetite. So hematite is iron 3 oxide, that is Fe2O3, whereas magnetite is Fe3O4, where you will find iron in both of its oxidation state, Fe2 plus, Fe3 plus. So they have asked you to write the common name, chemical formula, chemical name. So you need to mention all the three. So let me repeat it. Bauxite is Al2O3.2H2O. Next is cryolite, Na3Al, sodium aluminium fluoride. Ores of zinc is zincite, that is zinc oxide, ZnO. Next is zinc blende, that is zinc sulfide. Last one is iron, hematite, magnetite. So hematite is Fe2O3, that is iron 3 oxide, whereas magnetite is Fe3O4, where you have Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. Question number 7. Give the common name of an ore from which aluminium is extracted. Name the process of its extraction and describe it. Name another metal which is extracted by this process. Give a reason why aluminium cannot be obtained from aluminium oxide by the blast furnace process or carbon reduction process. First is the common name is we use bauxite. Okay, that is Al2O3.2H2O, and name the process. So we are going with electrolytic reduction, because this aluminium oxide cannot be reduced by carbon reduction process, because aluminium is more reactive, right? You cannot use carbon as a reducing agent here. So what we do is they have asked us to describe the process as well, right? So you need to be here, we will be taking carbon electrodes. So you have to, that is aluminium oxide will be acting as a electrolyte. Along with that we have to add fluorospar and cryolite. Aluminium metal will be collected at cathode and oxygen gas will be liberated at anode. So at cathode Al3 plus 6 electron you will get aluminium, anode oxygen will be liberated. Al2O3 when it dissociates you will get Al3 plus and oxygen O2 minus ions, right? Okay. Next is name another metal which is extracted by this process. Electrolytic reduction, sodium, calcium, they are reduced by this process. Give a reason why aluminium. As I told you, so aluminium is more electropositive or more reactive than carbon, and carbon cannot be used as the reducing agent here. So if you add carbon plus aluminium oxide, so for iron it is okay, yeah, we have used it, right? Fe2O3 plus carbon, so sometimes we use Fe2O3 plus aluminium also, but here you cannot extract aluminium by this blast furnace or carbon reduction process, and it cannot be reduced by heating it with carbon. Carbon cannot reduce aluminium because it is more electropositive. Aluminium is more electropositive than iron. In case of iron, yes, you can. The given sketch of an electrolytic cell is used in the extraction of aluminium. Okay, so this is B, this is A, this is C. Okay, cool. So here are the questions. What is the substance of which electrode A and B are made? See, here we are using carbon electrodes, that is graphite. A and B both are cathode, anode, they are graphite. Okay, so next is at which electrode is the aluminium formed? So obviously aluminium will be formed at A, which is cathode. Okay, so here at anode what happens? B is anode, so at anode oxygen gas will be liberated. So there will be formation of carbon dioxide. What are the two aluminium compound in the electrolyte C? So electrolyte C may we use bauxite and cryolite, right? That is Al2O3 and then Na3AlF6. So we are using both, and both contains aluminium. Why is it necessary for electrode B to be continuously replaced? So as I told, at electrode B there will be liberation of oxygen which reacts with carbon. Graphite is carbon, so there will be formation of carbon dioxide. So it is being consumed, carbon is being consumed. That is the reason it is very much necessary to replace anode frequently. Easy, right? Okay. So complete the statements pertaining to the extraction of aluminium. The impurity which separates out on the addition of concentrated solution of alkali to impure bauxite is the conversion of aluminium hydroxide to pure alumina is carried out by. So first one is Fe2O3. Okay, so here there are, okay, So the impurity which separates out on addition of concentrated solution of alkali, it is Fe2O3. The conversion of aluminium hydroxide to pure alumina is carried out by addition of AlOH3? No. Thermal decomposition method. Third one is addition of cryolite in the molten state of alumina lowers the melting point. During electrolytic reduction of alumina, Al3 plus ions are discharged at cathode in preference to, you have sodium there in cryolite. Yes. So during electrolytic reduction of alumina, the inert electrode is to a neutral gas. So it is oxidized. C plus O2. So let me just read them again if you are confused. The impurity which separates out on addition of concentrated solution of alkali to impure bauxite is Fe2O3. The conversion of aluminium hydroxide to pure alumina, AlOH, the AlOH thrice to Al2O3, it is carried out by thermal decomposition, not by addition of AlOH thrice or precipitation. Then the third question is addition of cryolite in the molten state to alumina. So why are we adding cryolite? What is the part of it? What is the role of cryolite? It lowers the melting point. Next is during electrolytic reduction of alumina, Al3 plus ions are discharged at cathode in preference to. So what are the cations you have in the particular in that solution? You have Al3 plus, Na plus, right? So obviously in preference to sodium ions, Al3 plus will be discharged at cathode. During electrolytic reduction of alumina, the inert electrode is dashed to a neutral gas. It is oxidized. C plus O2. Question number 10. Alumina or aluminium oxide has a very high melting point over 2000 degrees Celsius. Yes. So that it cannot readily be liquefied. However, conversion of alumina to aluminium and oxygen by electrolysis can occur when it is dissolved in some other substance. Which solution is used to react with bauxite as a first step in obtaining aluminium oxide? So AlOH thrice to Al2O3. So which we have to use a strong alkali, that is we are using sodium hydroxide. The aluminium oxide for the electrolytic extraction of aluminium is obtained by heating aluminium hydroxide. Write the equation for this reaction. So this is basically thermal decomposition, right? AlOH thrice, when you heat it, you will get Al2O3 plus water. So this is basically thermal decomposition of aluminium hydroxide to alumina, that is aluminium oxide, Al2O3 plus water will be formed, but make sure to balance the equation. So do you want me to do it? Where should I write? AlOH thrice, on heating you will get Al2O3 plus water. Now you have, let's balance this, 2Al, 3, 6, so 3 I'll write, 3, 3, 6, 3 2s are 6. Yes. Name the element which serves both as anode and the cathode in the extraction of aluminium. Carbon, right? We are using graphite electrodes. Yes. Question number 4. Write the equation for the reaction that occurs at the cathode during the extraction of aluminium by electrolysis. So at cathode what happens? Al3 plus 3 electrons. You will get aluminium. Give the equation for the reaction which occurs at the anode when aluminium is purified. So oxygen is formed. See, if you write nascent oxygen, no, as you all know, oxygen exists in its molecular form. So O minus 2 minus, it loses electron, so O2. So if you want, you can just balance it by writing 4 electrons. Okay, so oxygen gas will be formed. So this is it. We have covered metallurgy, minerals and ores, extraction of aluminium, Hall and Heroult process. And this is your homework question. Why does iron or zinc does not occur freely in nature? Very easy. Why do gold ornaments look new even after several years of use? So these are your homework questions. Do not forget to write the answer in the comment section. And the next session will be on study of compounds. Previous session, you have watched it? No? If you have not watched it yet, go back and watch it. And this current session, we discussed few important questions on the chapter metallurgy. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much. And once again, about the limited period offer, so use the coupon code SURPRO so that you can get 50% offer up to 1,500 rupees. Yes, the coupon code is SURPRO. Yeah, if you have any queries or doubts, you can reach out to me at surabhi.r@vedanta.com. You have subscribed to the channel, no? If you are new here, do not forget to subscribe. And everybody like this session, share it. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.